And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, they have brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life, and it's all contained within 6 rugged, watertight buckets. So it doesn't take up a lot of space. Pretty much anyone can find the space in their home to fit 6 buckets, and it'll cover you for 3 months. And it's a variety of food, lunches, breakfasts, dinners, drinks, snacks, free shipping included, 25% off their normal price. Use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get the discount. They also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which is excellent for outdoorsmen or people who go vehicle camping. You don't have to worry about rotating anything. You don't have to worry about your preps going bad. Just store this stuff in a temperature stable location, not too cold, not too hot, stable throughout the year, and it will last 25 years. They also have a general store. If you click the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithNYPrepper.com, it'll take you to their general store where they have everything you can imagine, from potassium iodide to water filters, solar generators, solar panels, survival seeds, fire starters, anything you can imagine, it's all there. So use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month freeze-dried food supply. And the link is in the description below this video. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing tonight? Let me know if you can hear me, and let me know if you can see me. Bompton81 says more dark winter. Sounds good. I'll definitely be posting more dark winter soon. That's going to be coming out very soon. How's everybody doing tonight? Diva's mom, Kim K, Crystal Allen, Lorna, Johnny Finance, Ricky Jackson, K. Paul, Crow Tien, Kathy Hunt, Adam Torres. So I'm going to jump right into the breaking news. We have some serious stuff going on right now. So let me just share my screen with you guys. Hold on 1 minute here. Got to change my screen. Let's see. So it looks like we have U.S. nuclear forces on high alert right now. And we also have a developing situation in South America with Venezuela. They're going to invade Guyana soon. So I just want to share something with you guys. Where's that? So we had 3 B-52s in the air earlier today. I'm going to go over that with you guys. But I want to start with this video that's been circulating on social media. And apparently it shows what appears to be U.S. missiles being moved around in Montana. So Let me play this video for you guys. So this is apparently in Great Falls, Montana. This was circulating on social media today, and it shows what appears to be the U.S. military moving some kind of missile or possibly warheads. It seems like warheads to me. Around the Great Falls, Montana area. Now, Great Falls, Montana has Malmstrom Air Force Base, which is where we have 1/3 of our land-based ICBMs, our nuclear deterrent. 1/3 of our land-based nuclear deterrent is in Great Falls, Montana at Malmstrom. There's 150 silos there for nuclear missiles. And right here you can see this semi, and it's being escorted by military police. And look at how close they're riding next to that semi here, okay? And in addition to this, we had 3 B-52s in the air today, and we also had one of them getting aerially refueled, which is pretty unusual because B-52s are designed to fly thousands of miles without any refueling. So something is going on, guys, okay? Our nuclear forces are on high alert. I don't care what anybody says, but I'm calling it. Our nuclear forces are on high alert. If anybody wants to debate me about that, go right ahead, but you're not going to convince me. You're not going to change my mind. You're not going to prove me wrong. This is pretty much clear as day to me because we've had multiple days back to back with B-52s in the air, which is not normal, okay? We had 5 nuclear war command and control planes airborne 2 days ago, some of them turning their transponders off. So the last couple of days, we've had B-52s and nuclear war command and control planes airborne like crazy. But here we have that semi, okay, near Malmstrom, and you can see it's being escorted by military police. Look how closely they're following this truck. It's absolutely insane. It almost doesn't even look, it looks like they're like towing it or something crazy. But you can see this convoy of military police here. So this is insane, guys. Okay, you don't move nuclear warheads around for no reason. So let me show you guys the flight tracker. I want to share with you guys those B-52s that were airborne earlier. And the B-52 is a nuclear bomber. It's still part of our nuclear triad. We have, I think, almost 60 B-52s that are active duty and ready to deploy at a moment's notice. They carry the AGM-86 air-launched cruise missile, which has a range of like 2,000 miles, and it has the W-80 warhead attached on each one. The W-80 warhead, nuclear warhead, has 150 kiloton blast yield. So all these B-52s have to do is get halfway across the Atlantic or halfway across the Pacific, release all their cruise missiles, and then turn around and come back. And that would devastate a country because each B-52 can carry over a dozen of those cruise missiles. So if you have, let's say, 25 B-52s that go out over the Pacific and then 25 that go out over the Atlantic, and each one carries over 12 cruise missiles, each with a warhead on it, you do the math, that's going to be 300 warheads fired from each coast to one of our enemies, most likely Russia. But our forces are on high alert, and Venezuela is getting ready to invade Guyana. I want to share some footage with you guys, very concerning stuff. This is what we have going on right now. We currently have 2 nuclear war command and control planes airborne right now, and this one right here, Bumbo 31, has been out here off the coast of New Jersey and Long Island for the the last couple of hours, basically all afternoon and all evening. And the fact that this thing has been out there for so long, and you can see these perfect circles here, this is a clear sign that this thing is communicating with one of our nuclear-armed submarines. And the way they communicate with our nuclear-armed submarines is they have a trailing wire antenna that can be up to 5 miles long, and they deploy it out the back of the plane, and they fly in circles, and then that antenna transmits nuclear attack options and, if necessary, emergency war orders. Emergency war orders, the launch order that the president gives to the subs to launch nukes. So this thing was doing these loops out here, these perfect circles. Okay, look at that. That means this thing is communicating heavily with some of our nuclear subs in the Atlantic. Okay, our nuclear-armed subs, which are also known as boomers or Ohio-class subs. We have 14 of them with Trident missiles, and then we have 4 with Tomahawk missiles. And then we have another one that's airborne over eastern Kentucky right now. This one actually turned its transponder off for a little while over eastern Kentucky. It turned its transponder off in the afternoon. It disappeared. And you can see how it just reappeared here near Pikeville, Kentucky. It just appeared out of nowhere. You see that? That is not normal, guys, okay? That means it had its transponder off, and then it turned it on somewhere in eastern Kentucky, okay? So this is very concerning, guys. Very, very concerning. And we also have a bunch of aerial refuelers active off of the Atlantic coast, off of Virginia Beach. You could see a bunch of aerial refuelers here. We had 5 aerial refuelers that were active off the coast of Norfolk Naval Base, okay? And we also have U.S. reconnaissance drone flying close to Lebanon again, okay? Now, this is concerning because this is what's known as a targeting pattern. This is when they try to gather information on targets that could be used for airstrikes, okay? And the war is down here in Gaza. It's not up here near Lebanon. So very interesting for one of these RQ-4s to be flying off the coast of Lebanon again. Okay, this thing was flying off the coast of Lebanon like 2 or 3 days ago, or 2 days ago. So it's possible that Israel's going to launch an assault on Lebanon soon, possibly, and they need targeting information, and that's why they're flying this RQ-4 there. Let me show you guys these B-52s, the 3 B-52s that were airborne this afternoon. We also had a nuke sniffer that flew from Offutt Air Base to Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs is where we have Cheyenne Mountain and NORAD. Okay, Cheyenne Mountain is a doomsday bunker for the U.S. government. It's a continuity of government site. And NORAD is in Colorado Springs. So we had a nuke sniffer go from Offutt Air Base, which is home of STRATCOM, to Colorado Springs. And we had 3 B-52s in the air at the same time. Okay, 3 B-52s over South Dakota and Wyoming. One of them got aerially refueled. Let me just show you a closer shot here. Okay, so you can see 2 of them were flying over the Black Hills. One of them was flying over the Standing Rock Reservation. And the one over Standing Rock had a KC-135 aerial refueler flying close by. Okay, so it got aerially refueled, which is really strange and really unusual, okay? And these 3 B-52s were airborne at the same time as Bumbo 31. You can see Bumbo 31 over there. So our nuclear forces are on high alert. Get prepared, guys, okay? Things are really escalating around the world. Diva's mom, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Christopher Napier, thank you for the super chat. And Kiel for real, thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate you guys. So here we have some fresh footage coming out of northern Brazil, and we have a massive amount of Brazilian troops being deployed to the border of Venezuela. So let me play this video for you guys.
Olha aí, pai, os caras tudo indo pra lá, ó. Mais pra lá ainda.
Sorry about that. Looks like I had to crop the image a little bit. Sorry about that. Looks like the image got messed up. Hopefully you guys were still able to see those B-52s.
Olha aí, pai, os caras tudo indo pra lá, ó.
So look at all these trucks, guys. Okay, this is the Brazilian army rushing reinforcements to the border of Venezuela because they're afraid that Venezuela is going to invade Guyana soon. Okay, this is fresh footage that just came in this evening.
Mais pra lá ainda.
Look at all these trucks over here on the side of the road. Bunch of trucks here. Okay, so Brazil is not messing around, and this could be a very, very serious situation, guys. Okay, from what I understand, Guyana only has like 6,000 troops in their military, which is really, really small, obviously. So Guyana is not going to be able to hold their own against Venezuela. It's going to be very difficult for them. They're going to need our help. Nella RC, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And this is all because of the weakness that we're showing around the world. You know, all of our enemies, they see our weakness. They see that, you know, the Biden administration is letting all these bad actors around the world do whatever they want without any punishment. Okay, we let Russia invade Ukraine. We let Hamas attack Israel. We let Yemen attack all the ships in the Red Sea. The other day, they launched missiles at 3 ships and they attacked our bases. Over 100 attacks on our bases, and our government is doing absolutely zero about it. This is crazy, guys. Okay, we have terrorist attacks here in the United States that are going on, and nobody's talking about it. We had Niagara Falls. We had the house in Philadelphia with all the IEDs and explosives. This is serious, guys. Okay, we are in the middle of World War III. This is World War III, guys. You know, I know it may not seem as sexy as the video games and the movies, but this is World War III. Okay, we have all these countries around the world starting wars because they see that America is weak. Okay, so this is very, very serious, guys. Very serious. And let's see. I have some other breaking news here. So the newspaper El País, I don't know how to say it, El País, is reporting that the leader of Venezuela has mobilized the army, the Venezuelan army, and announced the annexation by law of Essequibo. Okay, Essequibo is that region of Western Guyana. And let me just read to you some stuff here. So apparently, Maduro announced that he will soon permit the exploitation of resources such as gas, oil, and mineral deposits within the region of Guyana known as Essequibo. In Venezuela, the National Assembly unanimously approved a draft law for the creation of the state of Guyana Essequibo. So they're already, this is the Venezuelan parliament. They're already passing laws to annex the western part of Guyana, and this is basically the same thing that Putin did with Ukraine. And the defense minister of Venezuela, Pedrino Lopez, says Venezuela has a solid defense system to face any threat that may arise against our sovereignty and territorial integrity. So he's probably talking about if the U.S. were to get involved. He stressed that he would advance in the formation of the Guyana Global Defense Operations Zone to continue the tireless work of defending Essequibo. So the defense minister of Venezuela is basically saying that he's getting ready to take Essequibo, in other words, that they're going to go in and take it. We have reports that Brazilian army trucks are transporting artillery to Pacaraima, which is on the border of Venezuela and Guyana. And apparently, through a special law that was announced yesterday, a new province will be created. Oh, I already mentioned that. So, yeah, they're going to create a new province in Guyana, and it's going to be part of Venezuela. And Maduro said that he's going to give 3 months to any companies that are exploiting resources from Guyana, the part of Guyana that they're annexing, without permission from Venezuela to get their act together. That's what he said. So he's basically giving all the American oil companies 3 months to leave from the part of Guyana that he's annexing. And so what does that mean? Is he going to send his military to ExxonMobil oil platforms? Is the Biden administration going to even do anything about that if he does do that? We know that Venezuela is on the side of Russia, and they're good allies with Vladimir Putin. So I'm sure Putin okayed it. And this is probably all part of one big plan to spread the U.S. and NATO thin. But you see all these war fronts are opening up around the world. And the situation in the Middle East is not getting any better. Okay, it's only going to get worse and worse in the Middle East. There's not going to be any peace treaty. There's no end in sight, okay, to that situation. So continuing on with the news from Venezuela, apparently the Brazilian army is sending 16 armored multitask vehicles and the 1st Jungle Infantry Brigade, which is 2,000 troops. So Brazil is sending the 1st Jungle Infantry Brigade to the border of Venezuela. So that's pretty serious, guys. Okay, they're sending thousands of troops, as you could see in that video. It's a pretty serious situation going on there. You know, it's not going to be good. It's a bad situation overall. The president of Guyana made a statement earlier today, and he said that they're going to go to the UN Security Council to figure the situation out. But he addressed the nation of Guyana. I want to play that speech to you guys for you guys. So let me just play that for you here. So this is the president of Guyana. He made an emergency speech. All right. Emergency speech. Okay. And he was also on all the mainstream media this morning here in the U.S. So I'm going to play this for you guys.
I address you on an unsettling development in relation to the unlawful claim by Venezuela to Guyana's Essequibo region, which constitutes more than 2/3 of Guyana's national territory. Tonight, President Maduro announced several measures which his government intends to take in enforcing the outcome of the referendum held on December 3rd, 2023. As I made clear from the date the referendum was first announced, this is a direct threat to Guyana's territorial integrity, sovereignty, and political independence, and in violation of fundamental principles of international law enshrined in the UN and OAS charters. The measures announced are in blatant disregard of the order given by the International Court of Justice on December 1st, 2023. Guyana views this as an imminent threat to its territorial integrity and will intensify precautionary measures to safeguard its territory. I have tonight spoken to the Secretary General of the United Nations.
He said he spoke to the Secretary General of the United Nations
And several leaders, alerting them of these dangerous developments.
And several world leaders alerting them to these dangerous developments.
And the desperate actions of President Maduro that fly in the face of international law and constitute a grave threat to international peace and security. Also, Guyana will tomorrow bring this matter to the United Nations Security Council.
He said that they're going to bring this to the United Nations Security Council tomorrow. That is huge, guys. Huge news.
For appropriate action to be taken by that body.
For appropriate action to be taken by that body.
Further, we've engaged CARICOM, the OAS, the Commonwealth, and many of our bilateral partners, including the United States of America, Brazil, the United Kingdom, and France.
He said they've talked to the U.S., the U.K., France, and Brazil already, and I showed you guys over a week ago the pictures of the U.S. generals meeting with the Guyanese generals. We've already sent our military there to Guyana, okay? Advisors and who knows what else.
The Guyana Defense Force is on full alert and has engaged its military counterparts, including the U.S. Southern Command. By defying the court, Venezuela has rejected international law, the rule of law generally, fundamental justice and morality, and the preservation of international peace and security. They have literally declared themselves an outlaw nation. Nothing they do, however, will stop Guyana from proceeding with a case in the ICJ, or stop the ICJ from ultimately issuing its final judgment on the merits of the case. We will not allow our territory to be violated, nor the development of our country to be stymied by this desperate threat. In addition to this statement, I wish to respond to two questions. One from Stabrook News, which states, and I will read the question, will the Guyana government report President Maduro's announcement this evening to the United Nations Security Council and International Court of Justice in light of the latter's order that there be no aggravation of the circumstances? In relation to this question, absolutely. Guyana will be reporting this matter. We have already spoken to the UNSG, And early in the morning, we will be officially writing the UN Security Council. We will be informing the court of this development. And as I said, in the next 24 hours, we'll be informing all our bilateral partners and different agencies, including CARICOM and Commonwealth and the OS, on this recent development. Let me be very clear that President Maduro's action is in open defiance of the ICJ order. In my opinion, he's testing the mettle of the ICJ. He has taken a lonely and worrisome road of neglecting his responsibility as a member of the UN family. An adventurous and reckless path that can only bring instability to this region and can only create more uncertain circumstances for the Venezuelan people. We urge President Maduro to rethink these missteps and to act and behave in accordance with international law. All our actions and everything we do from Guyana is aimed at ensuring this region remains a region of peace. We want nothing. Our only ambition is for this region to remain a region of peace, a zone of peace, and for the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Guyana to be respected. We ask for nothing more or nothing less. So yes, this matter will be reported. We've already engaged. And the second question is from the Guyana Times. What is government's message to investors in light of Venezuela's position? Our message is very clear. Your investment is in a safe, democratic, stable country in which the rule of law prevails. You have nothing to worry about when you invest in a country that governs itself in accordance with the rule of law, that stands on the side of democracy, and that understands what true freedom is. So there is nothing to fear. Our international partners and international community.
So absolutely crazy, guys. Mud and munitions. Yeah, exactly. Russia, China, and everyone else, they know how weak we are. And that's why they're getting away with all this stuff and they're doing all this stuff. That's right. John Hoover. What's going on, John Hoover? I hope you're doing well.
Are ready to support us. They've assured us of their support. And all we want is for these missteps to be corrected by President Maduro. And for Venezuela and the government of Venezuela to commit itself to peace and to act in a manner that is befitting of a member of the United Nations family. To my fellow Guyanese, we are here to ensure the safety of this country, the territorial integrity of this country, the sovereignty of this country, and to protect every citizen. Tonight, I wanted to bring every Guyanese together to advise you on the steps your government is taking in relation to this latest, in relation to the latest actions by Venezuela and these grave missteps by President Maduro. I thank you and God bless you.
So there you have it, guys. There's the president of Guyana. Absolutely crazy what's going on. And this is right in our backyard. Okay? This is right in our backyard. This isn't some faraway place. You know, this is in South America. This is not far from us at all. So we have oil platforms there. Okay, ExxonMobil has oil platforms there. here's a picture that kind of shows the area. So you can see the western part of Guyana is the part that Venezuela has now annexed. And the oil discoveries are right offshore from Guyana. You can see right here where the oil discoveries are. That's where ExxonMobil and a bunch of other Western oil companies have platforms there. They have drilling platforms right here. Okay, so Venezuela wants that oil. That's what this is about. They want the oil. They know Guyana is weak and that they can take them over easily. They know that America is not going to do anything because Biden has shown that he's not going to do anything. So this is like low-hanging fruit for Venezuela. Okay, this is just like an easy win. And they would have all this land, and then they would have all this oil. Okay, so this is very, very serious, guys. Okay, very serious what's going on. And let me just show you guys those 3 B-52s that were airborne earlier because I had the picture cropped. So let me just show you here. So this is the moment at which we had all the B-52s airborne, and we also had the nuke sniffer go from Offutt to Colorado Springs, and then the E-6, the nuclear war command and control plane, was airborne at the same time. And here's a close-up shot of the 3 B-52s, 2 over South Dakota, 2 over the Black Hills, and 1 over the Standing Rock Reservation, and the 1 over Standing Rock got aerially refueled. So I can't remember the last time I saw 3 B-52s on flight radar at the same time. It's been a while. And then, having the nuke sniffer airborne, and then also there was a combat sentinel airborne, which is a high priority reconnaissance plane that sends intelligence directly to the president and the Joint Chiefs. So things are really getting crazy here, guys. Make sure you guys get prepared as best as you can. And we still have that weird illness going on. I don't have any updates on the weird illness, but it's not looking good from that front either. Seems like it's continuing to spread around the world. Gracie Lou Freebush says there was a lot of air traffic at my local Air Force base today. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I have a source that lives next to Offutt Air Base, and this source sent me a video of some Chinooks that were flying over Offutt earlier today. So things are definitely heating up. And we have some other breaking news coming from Israel. The Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said that Israel can fight a second war in Lebanon. Okay, strong words there coming from the Israeli Defense Minister. And the United States is going to provide Ukraine with a new military aid package worth up to $175 million. This was confirmed by Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. It includes ammunition for air defense, HIMARS, artillery, anti-radar missiles, anti-tank missiles, and equipment for the protection of critical infrastructure. What that means, I have no idea. Sounds like air defense or something. And Congress is going to consider voting to renew the Lend-Lease Amendment for Ukraine this week. And Ukraine destroyed one of Russia's newer air defense systems recently, the S-350 Vityaz air defense system. And the U.S. is charging 4 Russian troops in Ukraine with war crimes. The United States charged 4 Russian soldiers with war crimes on Wednesday for the abduction and torture of an American national in Ukraine. Attorney General Merrick Garland said the charges against the 4 Russia-affiliated military personnel were the first to be brought under a U.S. war crimes statute passed by Congress nearly 30 years ago. So this is the first war crimes charge that the U.S. has ever had to bring up under some statute they passed 30 years ago. Garland, speaking to reporters, said Russian forces in Ukraine had committed atrocities on the largest scale in any European armed conflict since the Second World War. As the world has witnessed the horrors of Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine, so has the United States Department of Justice, he said. The Justice Department will work for as long as it takes to pursue accountability and justice for Russia's war of aggression. According to the indictment, two of those charged, Surin Saranovich Merkrichin, 45 years old, and Dmitry Budnik, were commanding officers of military units of the Russian armed forces and or the so-called Donetsk People's Republic. The two others charged in the indictment brought in a federal court in Virginia were lower-ranking military personnel identified only by their first names Valery and Nazar. The Justice Department said Merkrichin and the others abducted the U.S. national in April 2022 from his home in the village of Mylov in the Kherson Oblast region in southern Ukraine, where he had been living with his wife. The American, who was not identified, was not participating in the armed conflict between Russia and Ukraine, the department said in a statement. Acting on behalf of the Russian armed forces and the so-called Donetsk People's Republic, these four individuals allegedly violated the human rights of an American citizen, said Katrina Berger, Executive Associate Director of Homeland Security Investigations. According to the charges, they unlawfully detained and tortured the American citizen and even went so far as to carry out a mock execution. The American was held for at least 10 days, repeatedly interrogated, threatened with sexual assault, and tortured. Merkrichin, Valery, Nazar, and others allegedly threw the victim face down to the ground while he was naked, tied his hands behind his back, pointed a gun at his head, and severely beat him, the Justice Department said. At one point, Budnik allegedly threatened to kill the victim and asked for his last words. Shortly thereafter, Nazar and others allegedly conducted a mock execution. The Justice Department said they allegedly forced the victim to the ground, put a gun to the back of his head, then moved the gun slightly and shot a bullet just past the victim's head. Wow, that is insane, guys. Are you hearing this? This is absolutely insane, what they did to an American citizen. So I hope that we do something about it, but knowing this government, it's very unlikely that this government's going to do anything about it. You know, Ronald Reagan, even George Bush would do a lot more. Absolutely insane. So let me just continue on here. The four are charged with 3 war crimes: unlawful confinement, torture, and inhuman treatment, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit war crimes. If taken into custody and convicted, they face a maximum sentence of life in prison. So this is huge, guys. Okay, the U.S. Department of Justice charging 4 Russian soldiers with war crimes. So that's definitely not a good sign for U.S.-Russian relations, that's for sure. So, you know, the relationship between the U.S. and Russia just continues to get worse and worse, guys. Okay, it's not getting any better. It's only going to get worse and worse, okay? So, you know, just get prepared because it's not looking too good right now. And Biden suggested the possibility that U.S. troops may have to face Russian troops. Let me play this for you guys. You can make what you want of this, but this is what he said earlier today.
Remember that we defend every inch of NATO territory. Then we'll have something that we don't seek and that we don't have today. American troops fighting Russian troops. American troops fighting Russian troops if he moves into other parts of NATO. Well, we've committed as a NATO member that we defend every inch of NATO territory. Then we'll have something that we don't seek and that we don't have today. American troops fighting Russian troops. American troops fighting Russian troops if he moves into other parts of NATO.
Said American troops fighting Russian troops if he moves into other parts of NATO. And I don't know if he's talking about Estonia or what, but we do know that Estonia has been putting anti-tank obstacles on its border with Russia. Okay, so something could pop off in Estonia, but also what's very concerning is what Putin said about Latvia the other day. I don't know if you guys heard what he said, but he basically threatened Latvia because Latvia has been passing a lot of like anti-Russian laws, and Putin basically warned Latvia that in so many words that they could potentially be attacked, that they would face repercussions. Okay, so let me read to you what Putin said here. He said, "I don't think that happiness will come to those who pursue such policies. Well, I don't know how many there are now, but in Latvia, I think there were 40% of the Russian-speaking population. Probably now there are quite a lot too. If they pursue such a policy towards people who wanted to live in that country, work there, created some good for that country, and they treat them in such a pig-like manner, then they themselves will face the same pig-like behavior within their country." Wow. Absolutely insane, guys. That's what Putin said about Latvia. Okay. There are a lot of Russians that live in Latvia, but Putin's basically threatening Latvia now, and I don't know if this is why Biden said this, but I'll play it again so you guys can hear it.
Well, we've committed as a NATO member that we defend every inch of NATO territory. Then we'll have something that we don't seek and that we don't have today. American troops fighting Russian troops. American troops fighting Russian troops if he moves into other parts of NATO.
So pretty concerning statements there from the president of the U.S. And let me show you guys the latest situation in Israel. This is what the current front lines look like in Israel. You can see that they have basically surrounded Gaza City in the north, and now they're starting to move into southern Gaza. Okay, and they've already warned people in southern Gaza to leave, and they've already moved into Khan Yunis. Okay, they're already moving into Khan Yunis. So it's possible that the U.S. Could potentially help Israel go into Lebanon soon. We'll have to keep an eye on Lebanon, because it's possible that Israel may go after Hezbollah after they're done with Hamas. But we know that the foreign minister of Iran met with the foreign minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov. So you can see that all these countries are working together. Okay, Russia, China, Iran, Venezuela, Hamas, North Korea. This is a world war, guys. They're all teaming up together against us. Okay. Let's see. I have something else I wanted to share with you. This is a Jewish student at MIT ripping apart MIT for their anti-Semitism or allowing anti-Semitism on campus. So let me play this for you. This was earlier today. Let me see here.
Thank you so much, Representative Fox and Representative Stefanik, for inviting me here today. My name is Talia Khan. I am an undergraduate alumna of MIT and a current graduate student at MIT. I am the daughter of a Jewish mother and an Afghan Muslim immigrant father. I am the proud president of the MIT Israel Alliance, and I am a Jewish student currently immersed in an extremely toxic anti-Semitic atmosphere at MIT. The MIT administration, namely President Sally Kornbluth, has failed to address the crisis of rampant anti-Semitism on campus. There is a radical anti-Israel group at MIT called the CAA. In recent weeks, the CAA's anti-Semitic rhetoric has shifted the culture on campus to such an extreme of intolerance that 70% of MIT's Jewish students polled feel forced to hide their identities and perspectives. An Israeli student whose identity and personal info was sold online for a bounty has not left his dorm room in weeks out of fear due to death threats. For my part, I was forced to leave my study group for my doctoral exams halfway through the semester because my group members told me that the people at the Nova Music Festival deserved to die because they were partying on stolen land. After a postdoc at MIT said that Jewish Israelis want to enslave the world in a global apartheid system, he falsely claimed that Israel harvests Palestinian organs and implied that the, quote, average Israeli is a Nazi. The DEI officer of his department replied by telling us that nothing he said was hate speech and that the organ harvesting conspiracy theory was, quote, confirmed. Day after day, the MIT administration has failed to enforce its own rules on anti-Semitic actors, such as the interfaith chaplain intimidating Jewish students, DEI staff publicly declaring that Israel has no right to exist, faculty dismissing student concerns for their safety by telling them that if they are scared, they should just go back to Israel. CAA protesters blocking the hallways, storming the offices of the MIT Israel internship offices and harassing the staff and faculty there, and inviting dangerous outsiders to campus to join them in yelling hateful and violent chants. This is the same climate of anti-Semitism that has led to massacres of Jews throughout the centuries. This is not just harassment. This is our lives on the line. The MIT administration has punted disciplinary processes to a faculty committee on discipline, which has thus far not received a single one of our complaints. MIT admin has even failed to staff a new task force against hate, which will dually combat anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. This atmosphere is intolerable. Jewish students do not believe that the MIT administration has done an adequate job to make students feel safe on campus. President Kornbluth, please let me go back to being a scientist. Let me go back to being a student. I don't want to have to keep advocating for Jewish student safety on campus. It's not my job, it's your job. Please do your job and act now. And if you can't, I'm asking Congress to do it for you. Thank you.
Wow, strong words there, guys. Strong words. This is why I'm not a big fan of Ivy League schools. I think they're just, overpriced crap. Overpriced indoctrination is what they are. It looks like we have another B-52 airborne right now, which would be the fourth B-52 in the air today. Let me see if I can find that for you. Another B-52 is now airborne, guys. This is happening right now. Let me see if I can get that up on the screen for you. So here we have another B-52, guys. Okay, it's doing loops outside of Edwards Air Force Base. That's the fourth B-52 in the air today. Okay, look at this. This is ridiculous, guys. And we still have those two E-6s in the air, the nuclear war command and control planes. So get prepared, guys. Things are really spiraling out of control around the world. We have a rise of anti-Semitism going on. All these big universities are anti-Semitic. It's crazy what's going on. It's coming right out of the Bible, guys. The Bible says that in the end times, you're going to have a rise in anti-Semitism. You're going to have a rise in anti-Christianity. Oh, wait, guys, we have two more E-6s in the air right now. We have 4 E6s. Let me see. Looks like some more popped up while I was talking earlier. Let me see. They're not showing up on this map for some reason, but they are showing up on ads B. We have Rough 07 and we have Ortho 31. So we have 4 nuclear war command and control planes in the air right now, guys. 4, okay? 4 nuclear war command and control planes, 4 B-52s. If that's not a sign that U.S. nuclear forces are on high alert, I don't know what else is, okay? There were some people, talking trash about me, saying, oh, how is it that nuclear forces are on high alert? How do you know? Well, it's called common sense, okay? It's called common sense. And another thing, too, is people complain about me titling some of my videos emergency alerts, and they say, well, an emergency alert is when there's actual missiles coming to the U.S. Well, if there's actual missiles coming to the U.S., I'm not going to be making YouTube videos. I'm going to be going into my basement and preparing for nuclear war. Okay, I'm not going to be going on here and doing a live stream. So, I don't know what you expect me to do here, but I'm not going to change my format. I'm sorry if that offends somebody. I know some people don't like that, but it is what it is. Okay, if I were to wait until missiles were flying, it would be too late. Okay, so let me see if I can get that other B-52 up on the screen. Or E6, I'm sorry. Where is that thing? It's over Mississippi now. Here it is. There we go. So this is crazy, guys. This is insane. We got 4 E6s up in the air right now. And a B-52. 4 B-52s today. 4 E6s. Look at this. This is ridiculous, guys. Absolutely insane. Keystone Preparedness, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. God bless America. Thanks, Greg, for all your hard work. No problem, Keystone. Judy Fugate says, love your channel. Thank you. Thank you, Judy Fugate, for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And everybody else that donated, I see I got some donations on PayPal also. Thank you guys for donating on PayPal. It's getting crazy, guys. Absolutely insane. I'm going to just take a quick screenshot of this for my update tomorrow for the people that aren't going to watch this. If they're not going to get a chance to see this, I'll brief them tomorrow morning because this is crazy. Pamela says, Greg, you're a good man. Ignore the haters. Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of haters out there. There are a lot of haters out there. John Hoover says, if missiles are inbound, that is a KYAG alert, which stands for kiss your arse goodbye. Exactly. Yeah, at that point, it wouldn't make any sense to do a video, would it? It wouldn't make any sense. Aldo Schmedak says, clearly they are moving MIRVs to the missiles. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're uparming our missiles because, the START treaty expired. Putin pulled out of the START treaty, which limited how many warheads we could have per missile. So they're probably uparming those missiles. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They're uparming. Over the summer, they did a test of one of our Minuteman IIIs, and the test included 3 reentry vehicles, which is, that we shouldn't have 3 reentry vehicles according to that treaty. So it looks like we're up arming our missiles. Lorna says, can you minimize the flags? Yeah, you should still be able to see with the flags, but yeah, I can move them out of the way. I guess if you're on a phone, it might be hard to see. I guess if you're running on a phone, the screen is kind of small, so it might be hard to see. So things are really getting crazy, guys. And thanks to all the moderators for showing up tonight. Thank you, guys. This was an unannounced live stream. I wasn't going to go live tonight. I was just going to do a video, but the situation is so serious with Venezuela and Guyana, and then all the B-52s up in the air today. I felt like I had to go live to get the message out because lately some of my videos I noticed have been like, I don't know if they're getting shadow banned, but they're not getting the same reach that they used to get. So I don't know if there's something going on there from the from the people in charge, but I figured if I go live, it'll definitely get the message out. Blue Bee Grace says Greg's channel is the best. Thank you, Blue Bee. I appreciate that. Pamela says I made a devil's food cake. Devil's food cake is awesome. Sandra Moore says I'm glad you went live. Lance Melton says I appreciate this. So yeah, things are really escalating, and then we have the chance of terrorism here in the U.S. That's something we need to be on the lookout for as we go into the holidays. If you missed my update yesterday, I talked about what the FBI director said. The FBI director basically said that he's never seen such a high level of a high threat of terrorism in the country ever. He said worse than 9/11 in so many words. He said this yesterday at a hearing, at a Senate hearing. Okay. So we need to make sure we're alert anytime we go out, especially if you go to a city, a big city, mass gathering. You need to be aware of your surroundings. Okay. And you need to carry a self-defense tool if it's legal to do so in your area. You need to know where cover and concealment are. You need to know where the exits are. These are just basic things. Smokin' Swamp Outdoors, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. And if any of you guys are looking for a channel that covers Bigfoot in Florida, check out Smokin' Swamp Outdoors. He's covering the skunk ape in Florida, which is the Florida Bigfoot. He's doing Bigfoot expeditions in Florida in the national forests down there. So check him out. Gail Conway, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. So look at this, guys. We got 4 nuclear war command and control planes in the air right now, and we have a B-52, and there were 3 B-52s in the air earlier. So, yeah, pretty serious situation. Crystal Allen says, thanks for all you do, Greg. No problem, Crystal. I appreciate your support. British Perspective says there's a new dangerous virus coming out of Peru, a cross between malaria and another virus. Did I hear about it? No, I did not hear about it. I'll have to look into that. Fartsy Floxy says, name of the Bigfoot hunter again. It's Smokin' Swamp Outdoors. He was moderating. He's one of the moderators here. He's got a channel. He's trying to get it started. There, he just put the link in the chat right now. I'll pin it to the top if you're interested. Tiffany Hartman, how's it going? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I hope everything's going well with you. There's going to be some kind of big storm this weekend hitting the Northeast, so that's another thing we got to be on alert for. So that's pretty much all the breaking news that I have for you guys tonight. I will be back tomorrow. I will be doing video updates and probably a live stream tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that. Betty R says, thank you, Greg. Appreciate your work. No problem, Betty R. Rick Olson says, I hope we are mobilizing to Guyana. I'm sick of all these little punks acting like fools. Yeah, I agree. I agree. We gotta do something. I mean, we can't let all these friggin' communists invade their neighbors all the time. Mary Beth Hammond, how's it going, Mary Beth? Thanks, Lorna, for tuning in tonight and for moderating. Yeah, my Dark Winter show is going to be returning. I'm going to be uploading more episodes soon. And if you didn't see Dark Winter yet, it's in my playlists. If you go into my playlists, look for Dark Winter. It's a fictional series that I made, how I survive a nuclear war with Russia. And I just filmed an episode this past Sunday. And I'm going to be filming some more, so I'm going to release at least one season, hopefully more, this coming winter. Nancy Drew says, I loved how you standed your ground. You are so appreciated, Greg. Thank you, Nancy Drew. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. I hope you're having a great evening, and thank you for the kind words. Yeah, and don't forget also the My Patriot Supply discount that I have going on. There's a link in the description below. You get 25% off of their 3-month emergency food supply. Normally it's $800. You can get the 3-month supply for $600. If you think about it, that's not a lot of money for 3 months of food. And it's all contained in 6 rugged water-resistant buckets. I have a few of these buckets myself. They don't take up a lot of space, they're like about the size of like a 5-gallon bucket, like one of the buckets you get at Home Depot. They're about that size. They don't take up a lot of space. I mean, even if you have like a tiny studio apartment in New York City, you could fit these buckets in your closet somewhere or even under your bed. And it's 3 months worth of food. And, it's freeze dried. So it has a 25-year shelf life. You don't have to worry about rotating anything. As long as you keep it in a temperature stable environment, it'll stay good for 25 years. And then you just need a little bit of water to rehydrate the food. So you do have to kind of like cook it. But it's a really good deal. So to get the deal, you got to go to preparewithnyprepper.com. The link is below in the description. And they also have a general store. When you get to preparewithnyprepper.com, there's a little My Patriot Supply logo at the top. If you click that logo, it'll take you to their general store. And they have all kinds of stuff. They have MREs, they have solar generators, they have emergency radios, survival seeds, water filters. They have potassium iodide. I actually just recently bought some potassium iodide from them because it's a really good deal on their potassium iodide. So check it out, preparewithnyprepper.com. The link is in the description below this video. Thank you guys for all your support. I appreciate it. Why is the Florida and Gulf Coast highlighted purple on your map? I'm assuming you're talking about the flight radar. Flight radar, that's probably the flight path of the E6s, the Nuclear War Command and Control planes. So that's pretty much it, guys. I think I'm going to wind it down now. K. Paul, thank you for sharing my How to Survive Nuclear War playlist. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. All the moderators, you guys are awesome. Shan Sissel says, hope you have a great night. Thank you. Or Shannon Sissel. Thank you, Shannon. Joan Julia, how's it going? Devin Awe, Aldo Schmedak. New York Adventurer, I hope you're doing well. I got to catch up with you. I haven't talked to you in a little while. Lola Guacamole. Yeah, canned foods are good to have canned foods for sure. Canned foods is good for short-term situations and where you need quick calories. You don't have to prepare anything, but for like a long-term grid down situation, freeze-dried food is a very good thing to have. But you should definitely have some canned food as well, because all you have to do is just crack those cans open and start eating. You don't have to rehydrate anything. Thank you, K. Paul. I'm glad you like the nuclear war survival videos that I made. How's it going, Kin Koi? Great to see you. Aldo Schmedak, if you ever need another mod, let me know. I am modding on a few other channels now, but still try to catch yours when I can. Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely keep that in mind. I'll definitely consider you. You've been with me for a while, so thank you. I appreciate you volunteering, and I hope everything's going well with you. So that's pretty much it, guys. I think I'm gonna wind it down. Rodney Middleton says he mods on Green Greg's. Green Greg's has a great channel. Vanessa Dubois, how's it going? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll do a video update tomorrow, and potentially also a live stream, depending on how much time I have and stuff. So have a good night, guys. Thanks for all your support. Montana Deb says, do I have a ham radio? Yes, I have several ham radios. I've done videos on them. Yes. I do have ham radios. Thank you, New York Adventurer. I appreciate it. Do I watch the DEF CON system? Not so much. It's kind of hard to tell if the DEF CON system is elevated, through open source, because it's top secret. So I don't really buy too much into, stuff like that. So I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for all your support, and I'll see you guys soon, potentially tomorrow night, and more updates tomorrow. So have a great night, guys. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.